Hello everyone, welcome you all on my YouTube channel study.com. Today we will get to know in detail about Buddhism in India. So let's get started. Buddhism originated in ancient India around 5th century BC, during a time when the country was undergoing significant social and religious change. Buddhism was founded by Gauthama Buddha. His earlier name was Siddhartha. He was born in the 563 BC on the Vaishakha Purnima day at Lumbini near Kapilavastu, presently in Nepal. He was born as a prince in a wealthy family of the Shakya clan. His father was Shuddhodana, the chief of the Shakya clan, and mother was Mahamaya. She was a princess of the Kolya Republic. He married at the age of 16. His wife was Yashodhara and had a son named Rahula. He moved away from his luxurious life after seeing an old man, a sick man, a corpse, and an ascetic. Then he decided to become a wanderer. He left his home at the age of 29 with his charioteer Channa and his favorite horse Kantaka. This search of truth by him was mentioned as Great Renunciation. At the age of 35, he attained enlightenment at Gaya in Magadha under a peepal tree, was known as Gauthama Buddha and Tathagata. He delivered his first sermon known as Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta at Saranath, in which he dealt with the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, the very base of Buddhist teaching. Kaundinya and four others became his first disciples. His 10 chief disciples were Upali, Rahula, Punna, Mahakachana, Shubodhi, Mahomogalana, Mahakashyapa, Ananda, Sariputta, and Aniruddha. Buddha attained Mahaparinirvana at Kushinagar in 483 BC. Next, we are discussing teachings of Buddhism. The main teachings of Buddhism are encapsulated in the basic concept of Four Noble Truths or Arya Satya and Eightfold Path or Ashtanga Marg. The Four Noble Truths are: the world is full of sufferings, have a cause. Desire, ignorance, and attachment are the causes of sufferings. The suffering could be removed by destroying its cause. In order to end sufferings, one must know the right path. This path is the Eightfold Path or Ashtanga Marg. The Eightfold Path consists of these principles: right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right mindfulness, right effort, and right concentration. The essence of Buddhism is the attainment of enlightenment. It points to a way of life that avoids self-indulgence and self-denial. There is no supreme god or deity in Buddhism. The ultimate goal of Buddha's teaching was the attainment of nirvana, which was not a place but an experience and could be attained in this life. Buddha also established code of conduct both for the monastic order and the laymen to follow, which are also known as the five precepts or Panchashil, and refrain from them are violence, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying or gossip, taking intoxicating substances, example, drugs or drinks. Next, we are going to discuss important text of Buddhism. The Buddha's teaching was oral. He taught for 45 years, adapting the teaching to suit the group he was addressing. The Sangha memorized the teachings and there were group recitation at festivals and special occasions. The teachings were rehearsed and authenticated at the first council and were divided in three Pitakas in 483 BC. His teachings were written down around 25 BC in Pali. The Tripitakas is a traditional word for Buddhist scriptures, often known as Pali Canon in English. The three Pitakas are the Vinaya Pitaka, the Sutta Pitaka, and the Abhidhamma Pitaka. Here, first we are discussing the Vinaya Pitaka. The Vinaya Pitaka consists of rules of conduct and discipline applicable to the monastic life of the monks and the nuns. The Sutta Pitaka consists of the main teaching or Dhamma of Buddha. It is divided into 5 Niyakas or collections, that is Dika, Manchima, Samyukta, Anguttara and Kuttaka. And finally, the Abhidhamma Pitaka. Abhidhamma Pitaka is a philosophical analysis and systematization of the teachings and the scholarly activity of the monks. Other important Buddhist texts include Divyavadana, Deepavamsha, Mahavamsha, Milindapanha, etc. Another important aspect, Buddhist Council. Buddhist Council marked important turning points in the early Buddhism. In total, 4 major Buddhist councils were convened. The first Buddhist council was held in the Satapani cave at Rajagriha immediately after the death of Buddha, presided by Mahakassapa, for the purpose to maintain the purity of the teaching of Buddha. Second Buddhist council was held at Vaishali, a village in Bihar, under the patronage of the king Kalashoga in 383 BC. It was presided by Sabhakami. Third Buddhist council was held in 250 BC in Pataliputra under the patronage of Ashoka and presided by Moggalliputta. The final version of Tripitakas was completed in this council. And finally, fourth Buddhist council was held in 72 AD at Kundalvana, Kashmir by Kanishka under the chairmanship of Vasumitra. Mahayana Buddhism came into existence in this council. After the fourth Buddhist council, other small Buddhist councils were held. Next we can discuss division of Buddhism. Buddhism was divided into Mahayana and Hinayana in the fourth Buddhist council. Let us learn Mahayana Buddhism. The term Mahayana is a Sanskrit word which literally means great vehicle. Mahayana believed in the divinity of the Buddha. The sect encouraged idol worship in Buddhism and bodhisattvas embodying Buddha nature. It originated in northern India. Mahayana holds the law of karuna, compassion over and above the law of karma. Mahayana upholds the ideals of Bodhisattva, the savior, who is concerned about the salvation of others. Mahayana Buddhism is spread across India, China, Japan, Vietnam, Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, Nepal, Tibet, Bhutan, and Mongolia. Another sect of Buddhism was Hinayana. The Hinayana sect meaning small vehicle in Sanskrit. Hinayana did not believe in the divinity of the Buddha. It believes in the original teaching of Buddha or doctrine of elders. Hinayana does not believe in idol worship and tries to attain individual salvation through self-discipline and meditation. Pali, the language of masses, was used by the Hinayana scholars. Hinayana scriptures are written in Pali and founded on the Tripitakas. Hinayana stresses on righteous action and law of karma. Hinayana believes in salvation by works, that each man should work for his own salvation. Theravada, it is a most ancient branch of extant Buddhism today. It remains closest to the original teachings of the Buddha. Theravada Buddhism developed in Sri Lanka and subsequently spread to the rest of Southeast Asia. It is the dominant form of religion in Sri Lanka, Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Thailand. Another form of Buddhism is Vajrayana Buddhism. Vajrayana is a form of Buddhism that is sometimes referred to as Tantric Buddhism. It developed in India in the 5th century out of the Mahayana tradition and quickly spread to neighboring countries, most notably Tibet. It is sometimes considered its own path and sometimes a branch of Mahayana Buddhism. Vajrayana means the vehicle of the thunderbolt, also known as Tantric Buddhism. This Buddhist school developed in India around 900 CE. It is grounded in esoteric element and very complex set of rituals compared with the rest of the Buddhist schools. Let us learn causes for the spread of Buddhism. Buddhism originated in India in the 6th century BC and spread throughout the country over the next few centuries. There were several factors that contributed to the spread of Buddhism in India, including the decline of Vedic religion. The Vedic religion, which was prevalent in India, had become very complex and ritualistic by the time Buddhism emerged, and it was losing its appeal among the masses. Second factor, the teaching of the Buddha. The Buddha's message of compassion, non-violence, and the importance of individual spiritual development resonated with the people across different social classes in India. Third factor, the growth of trade and commerce. With the expansion of trade and commerce in the Indian subcontinent, Buddhism was able to spread beyond its place of origin and reach other regions, such as China, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia. Another factor, the appeal of Buddhism message. Buddhism emphasizes on compassion, non-violence, and the importance of living a moral life resonated with people from different cultures and backgrounds. Another factor, the role of monks and nuns. Buddhist monks and nuns played an important role in spreading Buddhism in India. They traveled from one place to another, preaching the Buddha's message and establishing monasteries and nunneries. Viharas or the Buddhist monasteries became great centers of education. One such center was Nalanda, where Huangsang, the Chinese pilgrim, studied for many years. Another factor, patronage of rulers. Many rulers in ancient India, such as Emperor Ashoka, were patron of Buddhism and helped to spread the religion throughout their kingdoms. Next factor, the appeal of Buddhism to lower caste. Buddhism rejected the caste system, which was deeply ingrained in Indian society, and this made the religion attractive to people from lower caste who were marginalized in society. Buddha's emphasis was on the observance of Dharma. Overall, the spread of Buddhism was the result of a combination of social, economic, and philosophical factors that made its message appealing to people across different societies and culture. Next, we can discuss what are the contributions of Buddhism to Indian culture. Buddhism had made significant contributions to Indian culture in various ways. Some of the notable contributions are, first one, non-violence. One of the key principles of Buddhism is non-violence or ahimsa. This principle has had a profound impact on Indian culture, influencing the development of other religions such as Jainism and Hinduism. Second contribution, meditation. Buddhism introduced the practice of meditation to India. This practice has had a significant impact on Indian culture, with meditation being a key part of many spiritual and religious traditions in India. Another notable contribution, art and architecture. Buddhism has had a significant influence on Indian art and architecture. Many Buddhist temples and stupas such as the Sanchi stupa are renowned for their intricate carvings and stunning architecture. Another contribution, literature. Buddhist literature such as the Tripitakas and Jataka tales has had a significant impact on Indian literature. These texts have been an inspiration for many Indian writers and have contributed to the development of Indian literature. Another contribution, social equality. Buddhism has been a strong advocate of social equality. The religion has helped to break down the caste system in India, promoting the idea that all individuals are equal regardless for their social status. Another notable contribution, education. Buddhism has played a significant role in the development of education in India. The establishment of Buddhist monasteries and universities such as Nalanda University played a key role in the development of education in India. Overall, Buddhism has made significant contribution to Indian culture, influencing various aspects of Indian life including religion, philosophy, art, literature, and social values. And finally, we are going to discuss causes for the decline of Buddhism. The decline of Buddhism in India is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon, with various factors contributing to its decline. Some of the main causes for the decline of Buddhism in India include, first point, competition from other religions. Buddhism faced competition from other religions such as Hinduism and Jainism, which had a long history in India and were deeply ingrained in the culture. Second cause, loss of royal patronage. Buddhism had received significant royal patronage during its early years, which helped it to establish monasteries and universities. However, as the patronage declined, the monasteries and universities also started to decline. Another cause, internal divisions. Buddhism had different schools and subsects, which often had conflict and disagreements. This weakened the unity of the religion and made it more vulnerable to decline. Another reason, decline in trade. Buddhism had strong connections with international trade, and as trade declined, so did the religion's economic and social influence. Another cause, foreign invasions. The invasions of the Hunas and other foreign invaders during the 5th, 6th century CE led to the destruction of many Buddhist monasteries and universities in northern India. Another reason, corruption and decadence. Over time, some of the Buddhist monasteries became corrupt and decadent, with monks indulging in worldly pleasures and ignoring their spiritual duties. This led to a loss of faith among the people and a decline in the reputation of the religion. And finally, natural calamities. Natural calamities such as floods, earthquakes, and famine also contributed to the decline of Buddhism in India, as they disrupted the social and economic fabric of the society, which had an impact on the religious institution as well.